Russia is likely to use the chemical weapon after having used the white phosphorus munitions. Both of these kinds of weapons are banned by the international conventions. Volodymyr Zelensky stated this in his recent appeal to the Japanese government. According to him, the enemy is preparing a chemical attack, possibly using sarin, which has already been used in Syria. After all, after the failed Blitzkrieg and against the backdrop of growing military incompetence, Moscow is raising the stakes. Occupants have already dropped phosphorus bombs on peaceful cities in the Luhansk and Kiev regions. When exposed to human skin, burning white phosphorus causes severe chemical burns. The lethal dose is only 0.15 grams. But you can survive such an attack. A shelter or house will save you, but only with tightly closed windows and doors.
In no case should you touch the particles of phosphorus with your bare hands, which may be on the skin or on clothing. Do not use any objects such as tweezers or anything else to remove particles of this phosphorus. If possible, be sure to submerge the injured body part underwater, or pour plenty of clean running water over the affected area. It is necessary to take any sorbent along with water, whether it is ordinary activated coal or white coal, or any other sorbent that are available, and it is also advisable to take painkillers if you have any. But the main thing is to get specialized medical care as soon as possible.
Clothing that has phosphorus particles on it must be removed. It is forbidden to use cotton wool, bandages or hydrogen peroxide.
Phosphorus weapons are not chemical weapons, they are incendiary weapons, the weapons of mass destruction, but not chemical ones. And this is the main difference. Regarding the stocks of chemical weapons in the Russian Federation, there is such information it is impossible to guarantee that they are 100%, but the intelligence of different countries, including NATO intelligence, knows about the main stocks of the chemical weapons of the Russian Federation.
Today, the aggressor country is actively conducting propaganda among its population, allegedly about Ukrainian scientists developing chemical weapons. Experts believe that the Kremlin is preparing an information springboard in order to accuse official Kyiv of its own crimes.
Even the United Nations today does not exclude that the briefing of the Russian Federation in relation of biological laboratories may be one of the likely stages in the preparation of a group of hawks of the Kremlin for possible biological chemical operations on the territory of Ukraine. Mikhailo Podolyak, the advisor to the head of the office of the President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
The use of the chemical weapons in Ukraine is unlikely. Military expert Oleg Zhdanov assures of it. Indeed, in this case, Russia will probably receive a harsh response from the world community.
Even Hitler did not dare to use chemical weapons, although he had artillery supplies ready and an aerial bomb project was ready to use chemical weapons, so I believe that the probability is not that great.
However, the example of Syria shows that Russia does not hesitate to use chemical weapons, predominantly containing substances of nerve paralytic action, such as sarin, chlorine, zaman, tabun, the Novichok gas and V gases.
We must know and understand that chlorine is heavier than air. It also can accumulate on the lower floors, and ammonia it is lighter than air and accumulates on the upper floors of buildings.
The radius of impact of one chemical bomb is on average of 500 meters. The exposure time is from 2 to 8 hours. It is more effective to use it in open areas. This means that most likely the positions of the Ukrainian military may be under attack.
For example, in Aleppo, Syria, the use of chemical weapons made sense, because they have one-story houses, and they do not have glass in the windows, they usually just hang with sheets, that's all. There the penetration of gas is very high, and a group strike is used 3 or 4 bombs, but they can cover 1, 2, maximum 3 blocks, not more.
A person cannot understand what type of weapon the enemy has used on its own. That's what warning systems are for. However, they will work only in the case of preliminary information from intelligence or after the strike. Reported by Yulia Granovska, Larisa Zubenko, Pavlo Shtelmach for UATV News.